co-host. Where's my co-host? We're over here live, and my co-host is missing. Oh, you don't try to pop up on the screen, you little rascal. Do not try to do that. Anyway, thank you for being here. As usual, you always show up for me, so do your thing, people. All right, so we're gonna jump into it today. A new cop talks about Sonya Massey case, and she really has no filter. You guys might have seen this before, you might not have, but I just want y'all to hear what I think about it. Not that you care, or that what Boom thinks about it. Not that you care. But anyway, without further ado, or residue, let's get it started. You know what? Can't start it yet. That's crazy. We're gonna start off with this one.
To say it like that, but I got to go on living my truth. I'm really that thing. Everything that come around me leave different. But when the beloved is off location, they gonna be returned back into original form.
What you think about that?
I think that if more people stay true to themselves, be less problems. I don't know. Well, it could be problems. I don't know. Can't really say that either.
Okay. So I think what he's saying is, sometimes when a girl meshes or a woman meshes with their mate to a certain degree, they sort of grow with them in power. And sometimes, it's hard for a woman to realize how much she's been upgraded spiritually by being connected to the male. And so sometimes, some of his, I guess, razzle dazzle might, flow over onto, his mate, or it could be vice versa or whatever. And, say she's like, well, I'm done with you. I can do this on my own. Then she think those powers are going to carry over, but see, you turn right back into individually who you are because you're no longer around. In the Japanese term, the ryatsu, or the aura that this man carried. So now you just realize that you're just regular, smegular degular.
Well, I can't disagree because you said vice versa. So.
Yeah, you can't disagree. That's good. That's good. I wouldn't like for you to disagree on that. What's up, Golden? You know what? I forgot to get your special noise. He did another golden thing that day. But Ranch, you there? You frozen, my man.
I'm about to be in this gorge.
Oh man, perfect timing, huh? It's all Boom's fault, dragging the wagon all across, the world. So, all right, we're gonna go ahead and go in. Did you get to see some of that other video? You need me to play it again for you? I'm gonna replay it.
I thought you okay.
Well, because Rance didn't get to see it, so we're gonna play it again. What you think about this, Rance?
I hate to say it like that, but I got to go on living my truth. I'm really that thing. Everything that come around me leave different. But when the beloved is off location, they gonna be returned back into original form.
What you think? What do you think he's saying, Rance? What do you think Kevin Gates is saying?
I don't like that last part though.
I'm gonna have to listen to it.
Can I run it back one more time? Yeah, one more time. It's real short.
I hate to say it like that, but I got to go on living my truth. I'm really that thing. Everything that come around me leave different. But when the beloved is off location, they gonna be returned back into original form.
What you think he's saying?
So when he betters people that when they come around him, people leave better. I don't understand the last
Yeah.
part though.
I don't like. That's what I'm saying. It's
So let
like
me break it down. Let me break it down, y'all. Let me break it down because I say this a lot. So as soon as you leave, like it's almost like how Cinderella, she got the glass slipper to go to the ball, right? And then once 12 o'clock comes, you know, once you separate from whatever it is, and you left that glass slipper, and 12 o'clock comes, you turn back into, you know, everything. Your chariot turned back into a
it's not the
pumpkin.
same.
Yes, it is. Yes, because what he's saying is why you with him, you having a ball, or I've upgraded you to, you know, where you thought you could be in life, or where you saw yourself, or whatever. We created this value together. But once you depart from me, then you blur, blur, blur. You know when Mario loses the mushroom when he gets hit by a bad guy, that's what.
Wouldn't that be like leeching off of a person's power? Because like
No, that won't be leeching.
if you're elevating with that person, and then y'all depart, and then they go into
We're just saying people.
regular
Basically, what he's
schmegular or
saying
whatever.
is his presence evolves people. So just being in his presence, and you would think that it was just all you being around him, but then once you leave his presence, like you can't just carry off that same, you know, essence that you had because it was when you were around his presence is what kind of, you know, brought you to that level. You get? Am I explaining that right?
Yeah, I kind of
I
understand
mean,
a little bit better.
yeah. So the Cinderella thing is cool. I mean, I would just say, well, it feels like, you know how when you go to church you feel all holy and this and that, but then as soon as you pull out the parking lot, you bump into Jesus again, or he himself has a God complex, you
Right.
know, where you know without me you're gonna be, you know,
Right. Right. That's what I felt too.
Okay. So on one hand you got the God complex, right?
That's
And
what
then what do y'all call on the other side? What could it be that you know is just when you're around a certain thing, and next thing you know, you leave from in that area and you turn right back into, you know, baby
so
Mario.
basically he's saying like when you like let's say you meet a celebrity and it's like, oh my
Mm-hmm.
God, I met so and so, Kevin
Right.
Gates.
Mm-hmm.
And then everybody's like, okay, so what? Like he's not here now, or like they say, these celebrities not paying your bills and how whatever when you defending them. I don't know. I personally don't agree with how he worded that.
So
How you worded it, I can understand a little bit better, but it was almost like he was contradicting himself to me a little bit. I don't know.
and then
I don't really feel
I
that.
definitely can see the leash part because it's more like if you hang in my circle, you're gonna be all right. But as soon as you go try to do your own thing, you're gonna be who you were
Right.
before you met me. So apparently, I'm not learning anything. I'm not, you know, the
that's a
saying
good way
teach
to
a
think
man
about it.
to give a man a fish to eat for a day, teach a man a fish to eat forever.
Live forever.
So he's
Yeah.
just
Mm-hmm.
feeding the people that are around him versus, hey, I'm gonna give you some real estate advice. I'm gonna give you because I know he's into wellness and fasting and stuff like that or whatever, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. The last part kind of, like you said, I don't say kind of, it contradicts what he's about because it's like if you
Mm-hmm.
come around me, then you know we're gonna be winning and get on the
At the
spiritual
end of the
journey and
day,
or you know financial plan all this other stuff and then
when you part from me,
You don't
you
like
should
that.
no, I'm saying when you part from me,
Mm-hmm.
you should still be able to hold
right,
yourself in some type of regard.
yeah,
If you were the, you know how they say, get with people that do different things or make more money than you and stuff like
Right,
that.
right, 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 right.
If you get with these people and you still have nothing to show, like
right,
to me, you wasn't around the right people
right,
because they wasn't lifting you up.
right.
Your presence shouldn't be the only thing that lifts me up.
Mhm. I
That is
think yeah,
Mm.
unacceptable.
he negated everything he was saying with the last part because it was like,
Right.
well,
Right.
yeah, obviously,
All right. Well, sure. I just wanted to get y'all warmed up. I definitely want to get y'all warmed up.
yeah.
Now I'm gonna go with the topic at hand, which
Oh,
is the update. A new cop talks about Sonya Massey's case, and she really has no filter. And guess what? It's a police officer. I just want to say this, and it's real crazy when you find out about like You'll see. Just watch. I don't want to spoil it for you guys.
Couldn't be me. I woulda, shoulda, coulda. You wouldn't have. Y'all think y'all can react differently from us? We out here trained. You couldn't. You say that because you have time to think right now. We don't have time to think when shit pop off. So again, you could never. You would never. Put the badge on and let me see you do it.
I usually have some comeback for that, but I don't. Her name, let me tell you her name, because a lot of you are going to be like, Pastor, who was that? Her name is Jalecia Reed, a.k.a. Lisa Deer, a black sheriff deputy of Witt County, located in Virginia.
So I'd like to say to that police officer, you're an idiot. Idiot. Like, it's nothing gonna send you idiot. Like, put the badge on and try it for yourself. So basically, we have to go and practice, unethical acts is what you want us to do. You want us to do the exact same thing that you condone doing. And the fact that you condone doing that says something right now. Whoever your police commissioner is or whoever is over you, please take her off the force, because
I just don't think that they're properly
vetting
and training. Because when you say that you don't have time
to think
of how to respond to what's going on with you,
you're not trained properly.
And let's just talk about this pot of water, because that's the reason why you're responding. Right. A whole pot of water. What is the response? Jump back.
She says split decisions are completely different. Yeah, so let now that you said that, well, what split decision do you make? When you have backup, you have extreme backup compared to this 110, 120 pound young lady. And you guys are two big 200 pound dudes together making almost half of.
You don't have time to think. You don't have time to walk through the home to make sure nobody else is there. Nobody thought about that.
That's not even a split decision right there.
Right. Nobody thought about that. But you can make a split decision to take from someone their loved one. Absolutely unacceptable.
Right. And your split decision was, in your mind, the rationale was, let me delete her off of the planet because she had hot boiling water. At best, what she could have did was burn you. Yes, I've heard water can kill you. Okay. Well, I mean, if you were standing right up on her, maybe it would have been a little different, but still at that point, you could have slapped the pot out of her. I mean, no matter what distance you are from her, you had a way out. I think you're supposed to be trained to have a way out. Hey, I'm not 100% sure. I'm not an officer, but I do understand that when you say stuff like this,
it couldn't be me. I woulda.
It couldn't have been me. You would have did what?
Woulda, shoulda, coulda. You wouldn't have. Y'all think y'all can.
But she didn't. She didn't.
From us.
You saying
we out here trained. You could.
We have been trained.
You saying woulda, coulda, shoulda, but wouldn't. But she didn't. She didn't. That's just bottom line. She did absolutely nothing. She complied with every single thing that man told her to do. And you saying what? You saying absolutely nothing. I'm gonna say this is a joke. I'm gonna say that this is a joke for followers, because you make absolutely no sense.
So you think she's not a real
I don't
officer?
Like her. No, I'm not saying she's not an officer. I'm saying people do things for attention. And for you to say something like this, yeah, like different from us. Even while she's defending this officer and standing ground for her.
Why is she defending him?
For her blue and black?
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's why. Okay, makes sense.
Standing ground for her blue and black. What Jay-Z say? You still one of us.
Mm.
Still. They don't care nothing about you, child. So whatever.
Yeah, I don't think it was that at all. I just think that, her perception of how much life is worth means that she should have on a badge. That's what I
No,
do think that means.
yeah.
I do believe that even trying to post this thinking that you were cute at the moment shows a lot of mental inactivity. Just even how she put her lips together to say that dumb shit. Like the
Does this person
integrity,
have
the
any
mindset.
does this person have any reels or anything about like George Floyd, like I don't know if she's on the force stand or what, like just to hear
I
her
seen a
take
TikTok
on other
account.
situations where she would have, I would, wouldn't have been me, I would have intervened, and George Floyd would be here with us today, that type of thing. To hear her rationale on
Yeah.
stuff that was, I won't say obvious, like this was obvious, but I think where there were other options to diffuse the lady from throwing water, the boiling
Right.
water.
And I think that what
You
we
have
talked
a
about
whole
the
thing.
last time, as far as mental health, she needs to be on somebody's couch. That's what I think.
Yeah. So I mean, there were other options. Like I said, we've all seen other people. That means she pulls her gun out on everybody because we've seen other people where they've actually had guns and they still apprehend the suspect or whatever, or known they've already got done shooting a few other people and still roaming around or hitting and they taken alive. So I mean,
You know what's crazy about this
that's
lady? The
Mm.
thing that's crazy about her, sorry to cut you off, Rand, but this just crossed my mind. She acts like people don't deal with violent acts on a day-to-day basis, mentally unstable people on a day-to-day basis. Just because you put on a uniform, that allowed you to imply deadly force at any time you want, to invoke deadly force at any time you want, which makes no sense because as a civilian, you can't do it. I think the same rules should apply because at the end of the day, who is not you know, able. Okay, say you, Rance. If somebody had a boiling pot of water and you think they're going to throw it, what's the first thing you're going to do? Oh, I guess you can't hear me. Boom. What's the first thing you're going to do?
I'm jumping back.
You're jumping back. You're not. You're
Yeah.
yeah.
not going to
I would
go
I would get
and
as
get a
far with
cannon,
I'm not gonna do
and
what?
you're not going to go and get a cannon or a rocket launcher and try to blow up the whole house because she has a pot of water. Like that's just how extreme this is to me. How this dude acts like he was playing Call of Duty. Like I literally feel like he plays Call of Duty and just goes, "I got a headshot every time, headshot, headshot." He's trying to do
Mhm.
headshot,
And now he's bringing it to life. Like a lot of them, a
headshot.
lot
Like
of those video
yeah,
games definitely do play their part in the way the world is moving.
yeah
you know,
all the things that we see. Can y'all hear me at all?
yeah.
We
We
can
can
hear
hear
you
you
now,
now.
yeah.
Yep.
Um, yeah. To answer your question, I would have jumped back, but I think a lot of the things that we see now in the news and on video games and stuff have desensitized us
Mm-hmm.
to seeing people, get shot in the head and just shot in general or car accidents stuff like that. Just
Hmm. Yeah. And then too, okay, they like she said, we don't know everything that they deal with on a day-to-day basis with people. But if you're trained, as she stated, if
You
you're
signed up for that
trained,
job.
well, not even just that, like the level of danger you're in. When you
so
assess the scene, the level of danger you're in.
right. We throw in there how much she weighed and all this other stuff, but again, back to what the other panelists said last time, that somebody should have been called out because you can tell it's a mental health situation. It's not, after you've assessed the scene and realize that nobody's there and this lady's probably making this up or whatever the case may be, and she has on her bracelet and blah blah blah. that this is a mental health situation, and I'm not trained for that, or you should be trained to recognize that,
Mm-hmm. Right.
those types of things. It's like they're trained to know CPR, all those things. It's like you don't just, oh, I didn't know what to do. Like you're trained to do CPR. Well, I never had to actually do it, only in class. Well, this is why we train you, So that lady saying that, it's
Yep.
like, yeah, situations are different once you actually get in them, but that's your first reaction is just to shoot somebody?
Mm-hmm.
And not just to even shoot them. Yeah, you're supposed to be trained to shoot them non-lethally. And I mean that, like you said, boom, headshot. Like you're not
Yeah.
playing Call of Duty.
Yeah. My
He,
first instinct for somebody, like if I get in a fight at the Walmart, my first instinct is to fight, but not, oh, I want to shoot this person,
Right,
unless,
right.
my
You
life is
know,
in danger. But that's what
oh,
everybody wants to do now is just shoot.
say
It's
that
like
their
Pop
life
said
is
I
on
in
think
Friday.
danger.
Everybody's scared to take a ass whooping.
I think that
Hmm.
field police officers, maybe they can do like 30 days on, 30 days off, and then that 30 days off in the office or whatever, they should be going through some type of psychiatric evaluation, because I mean, it's not to say that out here is not cannot be overwhelming. It can be overwhelming, operating as an officer. But I don't see where these officers are being evaluated to make sure that their mental check is in check.
Right.
It's not adding up. Like, even now we're seeing this woman here. She is saying that basically she would have did the same thing to a person that was not a threat.
So I mean, you got to look at that, and whoever their eval person is at the precinct, they need to say, hey, we need to have a talk. Because we've seen that. Just like, when employers go through and they look at your Facebook and you did something that wouldn't reflect their company good because working for
Right.
their company, you're known as a representative. So now you're actually out there representing police and saying what she did was right. You agree with it, even though he's being brought up on charges. And
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 he
you
should
see
never been
how
on the force
brutal
to
it
begin
was.
with.
Right. There's no
He should have never
humanity
been on the
anymore.
force to begin with. And then the other officer, did the other officer pull his gun out too? Draw his weapon?
Yeah, they both pulled it out. They walked up on her like she had a AK-47 Mac 11. You
Yeah.
know, like they really was acting like they were, creating a formation against a pot of water. Like this is crazy. Like this is how insane it is. You had two people, who could have easily taken her down without, the weapons.
Hmm.
Right. But again, that right there is unacceptable
I
for.
I mean, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's just unacceptable that, you know, officers, you want to defend each other. You want to, like, say who's right, who's wrong, or whatever. But y'all are not doing the proper work to say
Right.
that you qualify to be
To be
a part of the community and
exactly.
to assess and what's the word I'm looking for? Protect the community. You're
Right.
not doing the proper work to
Right.
make sure that you hold up to those standards.
Just just like the officers that were standing around watching Officer Chauvin choke
Right, right, right.
or get
Everybody
killed
got it, didn't they?
or yeah. I mean,
But this
unalive
unknown officer didn't.
George Floyd. None of them intervened and say, "Hey, man, that's too much."
And that's the
Right.
same
So
thing that
my
happened
thing
this
is,
time.
that's why I'm like, does she have any of now? What she said is, I guess, a sound bite, which we call a sound bite. So we can take certain things out of context or want to see the whole story about what she was talking about. But like if she has any, what would she have done in the George Floyd situation or Alton Sterling or anybody that we sit here and watch these people die, get unalived,
Mm.
and what were her thoughts then? If she just wants to speak on this, and that's then she's out of pocket for that.
Yeah, I mean, way, way out of pocket. Just me playing. I played it a few times today, and I said to myself, huh, you know, This is
Yeah.
you just like what made you feel like that was a good idea? But I mean, so like I said, automatically there should be somebody that looks at their post. You know how they put all this pressure on regular civilians. Hey, watch this, do this, or like they do on truck drivers. Oh, you got DOT pull them in. You need to start pulling in some of your police officers and doing a level 3 on them. Pull them in and start doing a level 1 and a level 3. Assess whether they've been drinking on the job. Do stuff like that.
I,
Assess their mental health. Check their
there's a
vehicles. Make sure.
yeah. You, I mean, I saw a cop go by just not too long ago. He was texting on his phone, and you
Phone breaking up.
Oh, he's breaking up. Oh,
Hmm.
okay. All right. Well, let's go ahead and move on to this next one. This one right here. You guys check it out.
And most men will only experience unconditional love from their mothers, and some of us don't even get that. Most of us have never even felt appreciation or respect without conditions or hidden intentions. We don't know what it sounds like to hear, "I see you, and I'm proud of you. I'm glad you're here. You really make a difference." Yet the expectation is to constantly be displaying the strength and love that the world is hesitant in conveying. We're expected to have a thick skin but get judged if it turns to a hard shell. The first step in being a man is ignoring the hunger. Cause yes, boy, you're gonna be starving. Starved of attention, starved of affirmation, starved of love, starved of being told that you are enough. Step 2 in being a man is comfortability with replaceability. You are only as good as you are useful. You are only as
That is the big bar. That there right there. You're only as good as you are useful. Other than that, you can be replaced. It's almost like having a job in the workforce. If you can't perform your job, guess what? You're replaced. I think that was a bar he dropped right there.
valuable as you are needed by others. Should there ever come a day, boy, where you fail to provide everybody with a smiling face, then do not be surprised when they say all men do is take up space, and you are swiftly replaced. Step 3 in being a man is overcoming your fear of the fire, because almost everything you will ever try to build will go up in flames. Relationships, careers, hobbies, and yes, you are always to blame. Step 4 in being a man is understanding that by the time you finally get all the right answers, these questions will have already changed. You might achieve the strength of Herculean fiction, trying to balance the weight of all these contradictions. Be a man, they say. Definition unknown. Description keep changing.
Be a man, they say. Description keeps changing. Once you get the answers to all the questions, they're gonna change. And that's one thing of just staying up on learning. Yeah, I realize that learning is very important, especially in my older age, because once you stop learning, you think you know it all. The world is constantly changing, and you
Hmm.
will be left behind, and it will be harder for you to catch up. It's like trying to jump on a treadmill that's
Hmm.
already going 12 miles an hour, and you know damn well you can only run 5 miles per hour at your best right now.
Yeah.
You're going to lose your teeth.
I
So,
mean, a lot of guys say that though. Like they don't feel appreciated. Um, I think everybody's fighting for appreciation in a position of appreciation. The man and the female, and that's why like uh, it's like a competition of appreciation. Does that make
mm,
sense?
yeah,
And so
yeah,
when you get overlooked, the male or the female, you can be overlooked because everybody wants their ego stroked.
right. What are women
One,
being overlooked by? Like, why? How do you feel that women are being overlooked?
just their daily duties, whether you're a working partner or a stay-at-home partner, like
Hmm.
whatever the balance is for you guys to, it will her in her role at home, however that dynamic looks for you guys, just what she does. Is it always acknowledged as appreciation or not? Or does he take the glory for what she brings to the table? Or, um, for him, it's like, well, you see me working hard too. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. Can't you just do this? I'm doing this. We've even had those conversations, right? So it's like each other want to be seen, and then it becomes like a battle of love. Does this person see me the way that I want to be seen? Does this person appreciate what I'm doing for the household?
I think it's all about how much somebody can see how much you're trying. Like, a lot of things really don't matter in this world, but showing somebody that you really, really care about how much they mean to you on a day-to-day basis, I think that makes a big, big difference. And I think what a lot of men are saying is that, you know, women ask up front for a down payment to spend time or have love. Like they want you to deposit your whole life and they want to just join the game without any skin in the game. That's what I really think it boils down to. Like
Down
men have to
payment.
men have to show their value, a down payment of their value up front. They're not already valued. And not all men, but I'm feeling like a lot of men feel like, they have to prove their worth to you, their value up front, whereas a woman doesn't really have to prove anything to you, but that she can just be, I guess, loyal. But there's a million things. If a dude's loyal, then he doesn't produce enough. He doesn't bring in enough income. If he doesn't bring in enough income, he's not loyal. If he does
Why
bring in
can
a lot of income, then he doesn't know how to, I guess, be intimate the way that you want him to. If he doesn't, if he does do that right, then he probably isn't he's a man, but he doesn't have the nurturing side for you for the kids, which is not really his job. He's supposed to, really provide the structure. So it's so many ways that a man would have to bring value. Like he got to know how to change a tire. If he doesn't, he's not man. He's not manly enough. He's got to be self sufficient, or he's got to have a job, or this and that. For a woman, you don't need any of those for a man to really see the value in you. You see what I'm saying? You got to find all types of things that a man can
some
do.
guys do look for those particular things in women?
Like
And
what?
as far as loyalty, why would loyalty and finances? Why can't those two coincide?
Not saying they don't coincide. What I'm saying is like it doesn't matter which one you choose, whether it's financial, whether it's loyalty, whether it's the ability to do certain things in a certain niche. It's just it's got to be a whole combo breaker for a dude to show value versus a woman. Okay, hey, you might have a good career too. I don't care what else you do. I don't know. I don't care if you need the necessities like that a man really feels like he needs from a woman, which would be cook, clean,
Okay.
all that other stuff. You see what I'm saying? Like it isn't really nothing that we're looking for.
The average, I'm gonna use what y'all like to say, you and
The
Jen.
average amount. Yeah,
The
I feel
average
it.
woman, the average woman is not looking at all those things and judging the guy off those things. The only way she has reached that point is if she has dealt with the average guy and he let her down to a point of no return. Like nobody's
So the
going out
next
here.
guy picks up that letdown.
It's not about him picking it up. It's about her learning from what she chose the first time. You know how men like to say choose better? It's about her learning from what she chose the first time and not wanting to make that same choice again. So, she's looking for different qualities. I mean, of course, there's always going to be a base of qualities that, the guy that she may date holds. But as far as financial letdown, how was he handling that? Was he loyal? Did he have funds and wasn't loyal, or did he not have funds and wasn't loyal?
Or did he have
Like
all that and it still was something missing to where all of a sudden he just still wasn't enough? He had finance, if he was loyal, if he checked off all the boxes, then it still didn't work.
what complaint would she have unless she's just ungrateful?
No, you do have that a lot. We
If
have
she's
seen that.
ungrateful and she's spoiled and she and she treats him a certain type of way, honestly, she just don't like him.
Mm. So when a woman doesn't like someone, they string them along for a long time.
They
What does
can.
that
It's just
equate
like being
to?
flued out, and then you get over there and you ain't
Mm,
trying to do what that man thought you was coming over there to do.
mm,
Because she
mm.
never ever had the intentions of doing that from the beginning. Even if she was telling you sweet nothings, if she get over there and she don't, open up, she wasn't doing that from jump. She already knew before she got on that plane she wasn't doing that.
Mm, mm, mm.
So, again, like men have to choose better in that area of knowing if a woman is really for him. It's easy to tell if a woman's wanting to be by your side and stick by you. It's really pretty easy.
Okay, okay. All right, let me throw this up here. We see you, Rance, over there, golden, doing your golden thing.
Need a woman to remind them of who they are, to remind them of their power, because at times we do get lost, we do get misguided, and we lean on our woman. A lot of the times with men, woman is our inspiration. You see men turn their whole lives around. Why?
So I remember we said yesterday that women do certain stuff like have a baby with men, hoping they'll change, turn their life around. Remember we talking about that yesterday, or they marry them, hoping that changes them. Well,
Mhm.
here we go again.
Need a woman to remind them of who they are, to remind them of their power, because at times we do get lost, we do get misguided, and we lean on our woman. A lot of the times with men, woman is our inspiration. You see men turn their whole lives around. Why? All men.
So why do you think that is? Because
'Cause they want to.
you've heard yesterday that some men don't, that they think that. So where do you think that notion comes from? Do you think the men are showing that, or do you think they've seen that to where they believe that, having a kid or, marrying them will change the man? And in most cases does it?
Oh, that's culture. It's a culture problem because a lot of times you see girls, they think that they're in love, and they get pregnant, and then the guy is hard to deal with because he hasn't matured to where he needs to mature and the level that he needs to mature as a young father. Um, but a guy that leans into his woman and takes the inspiration, as my boy Joey said. I like him. Isn't that the guy from Raising Canaan?
Joey. Who is Joey? Oh, you talking
But
about
anyway,
the guy special or Fonte? What's his name? The rapping dude that was Kanan's
unique.
oh, unique. Okay. Nope, I was way off.
I was like, wait a minute.
I was way off.
But he's gonna elevate himself because he wants to. He wants to do better. There's no other way around it. Like you have to want it in order for you to even start to see it. Once you see it,
Mm,
then you can, achieve it. Right?
okay.
So
Okay. Rance, what you think, Rance? Golden.
he you're on mute, Rance.
Oh, there you go.
All of that, what Boombox was saying, was spot on. Um, I think, again, going back to the essence or the biological viewpoint that men, we're supposed to build the nest, like most birds, male birds do, is build a nest, and then the woman, comes in, and we're able to have babies. Keep the genes going. I mean, but from the human aspect, that we're kind of the same way, but we've let a lot of other distractions, and especially in 2024, social media and all this, this mindset has been convoluted to, where we just do whatever now, you know.
Right.
and we're
Right.
trying to, figure it out. But I like what she was saying as far as like, when a woman has gone through things that she decides I'm going to choose differently now, you know, based off of what she's had in the past, and
Mhm.
you know,
And she
that,
should, because that's the part of maturity. You know what I mean?
mhm. And to
Mm.
understand too, not saying to settle, but you're not going to always get all of those things. Like you said, it's financially stable, stability, or you know, um, good looks, or loyal and great with kids and all those things. I mean, there's going to be some, it ain't going to be 100% on or check every box. But I don't want to say a but what's wrong with a woman already coming into the situation financially stable? Like, what do what do my finances have to do with you? But put it this way: my son's 15, and we went to see Deadpool the other day.
Mm.
Deadpool's a high box office
Oh
movie,
yeah, I
and the
gotta
tickets were $54 for just me and him.
Whoa.
And I said, no, now I want you to think about this, because I told him he bought his own popcorn and stuff. But I'm saying, like, you start dating a young lady. I said, you see how much those tickets cost? And I said, of course, y'all probably gonna want some popcorn and candy and all those other things. I said, you make sure she at least buys the popcorn or something, or buys her own ticket. There's no reason at 15 you should be coming out of your pocket $75 to go on a date. She needs to bring something to the table, because it can't just be vagina. And I'm like, that's dead. We're not doing that no more.
But
Because
that
at the
goes
end,
back to what I said yesterday about being friends. Like, okay, now if the tickets cost this, like, okay, well, let me see what I can do to contribute to us making this happen.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's see what else I got on here for you guys.
hate to say it like that, but I got the
Nope. That wasn't it.
A woman has to go work like a man every day, and a man goes work and he's tired when he gets home. A woman's not tired. She has to clean, cook, do the dishes, do the laundry. Are you kidding?
Why don't you want to do that?
What are you talking about? Why don't I want to do? You know how fucking tiring that is? Have you done that?
First of
Have you
all,
done that?
I do it every day.
Fellas, do not choose a woman who don't want to be a woman.
Right.
So you don't want to
Wait,
be a
pause. I
woman.
just
No,
let
you
you
don't
talk.
want to
I
be
just
a
let you
woman.
Yelling doesn't mean you're winning
A woman.
an argument.
I don't know.
It's a sign of low
I have to
intelligence.
see more of that. But
It was I was trying to find the
Did you see
whole
how her head cranked back and she said, "A woman"? Like she really felt like she was like controlling the room with that mouth.
she
I
didn't feel like
can't
she was being
stand it.
heard.
Did you see how that
so what
head?
what she was saying though, as far as like, hey, you're not a woman if you don't do these things, or we're tired of doing all that stuff.
No, she was saying a woman has to go do a 9 to 5, exactly basically the same thing that the man does, and then turn around, come home, and
I
then
don't.
cook, clean,
I don't.
wash the dishes.
She need to
But
come
the
stay at
crazy
my house
thing is,
then.
right? They act
She
like the
needs to come
males
stay at
don't
my
do
house.
that too.
That
It's almost like y'all can say that a man has a certain job and he cannot do nothing that the woman does, which is
right.
crazy because the
That
stuff that y'all do is
right.
easy.
She's taken her experience, or maybe a couple of girlfriends around her, and turned it into that. Because I don't know a lot of men that just come home and just leave it to Beaver days. You throw the briefcase down and pour a glass of whiskey and read the paper and
Right.
smash and go to bed.
Cross
I
his
don't know many
leg.
guys.
Right.
They're at football practices. We're doing stuff. I'm like, I would have walked out of the room. I heard that, because that's ridiculous. She can come stay with me if she wants to, and understand what I do when I get home.
Right. Right. He
She
literally has a notepad.
yeah,
Yeah.
she would be. Yeah, I don't.
But
I feel like
on the back end of that, the guy was saying, the men are to like keep up the cars, put gas in the cars, um, the maintenance basically.
Yeah, because that's stuff that
Handy,
y'all don't do. That's stuff
handy.
y'all don't do. Y'all just get in the car
Well, I
and
do.
drive it.
I
No,
don't do the car stuff.
but
even
that's what he's saying. He's saying like y'all act like y'all have something different, but we work too, and we come home and do the the so-called quote
Yeah,
unquote
that is.
dad side, not
Well,
just you just come
I'm
home
not
and sit down.
I'm
You
not
know,
saying
I come home and wash dishes. All that stuff she was naming or whatever was in there, I do all of that. There's nothing in that house I don't do except birth children and breastfeed. There's nothing in that house I don't do.
there's nothing.
My
and
wife
then
can't name one thing. She calls me to ask me where stuff is at, and I'm like, why don't you know where that's at? Because I try to show them. I try to hey, this and that. I'm like, why don't you know where that's at? First of all, you know but that's how she
Get over
she
here!
just
she
can't.
sound I mean, but that's part of 50-50. You know what I
Right, it
mean?
is.
Like I'm
Yeah,
not
but see
saying
that's not what we're debating. We're debating that women actually say that and be like, and I gotta come home and do this and that. Like
well
sometimes
that's
y'all don't even get
somebody
to make it home until we get off our job and then come fix your flat tire, and
she
then come
is
home.
upset
Yeah, she
because
need to stop that. She need to
she
curb
doesn't
that.
want to work. Like you got to understand the difference in the person that you're dealing with. She wants one or the other.
Right,
You
right.
know what
Well,
I'm saying?
men do too,
Yeah,
and now I've
but
been trying to
men,
have that.
yeah, that
I
exactly.
agree.
We're doing the same thing too, but it's like she doesn't want to
Possibly,
see
because
that.
the way she explained it is like that's not
That's
Well,
how
then
probably
she got a
yeah.
pookie.
That's
Then
probably her.
that's yeah.
you
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
that's
And
her
because she
household.
sounds like she's just fed up. That's
Yeah,
the tone in which she's saying it. And then you have the other young lady, which is saying, "Well, I do these things too, and
Mm,
what is the problem with doing these things?" Which of course, it can't be a problem because you want to clean up and have a clean space, but she may have help. And this other young lady who was like, screaming at the top of her lungs. To me, it just sounds like
screaming at
she
the top
that's
of
top
her
yeah,
she
lungs.
doesn't have help.
yeah.
And
That's
then the guy, he could have, to me, the guy, he could have did a better job of breaking down what exactly the man does do. Because in most cases, like guys
Huh?
are they cleaning. Well, he was saying like this, like changing the tire and stuff like that. That's stuff that's not happening every
every
day.
day. Yeah,
So if you're just changing a tire and she cleaning up every day, yeah, that will give a woman some frustration. Like you're not really helping. You're not gonna help me until a tire go flat.
right.
You get what I'm
Yeah,
That
saying?
that
yeah.
come on now.
Now
That I
my
mean,
sorry.
go ahead, Rance.
I'm saying my wife, she handles all. She's great at the kids' appointments and stuff. All the doctor's appointments and dentists. Like I don't know. Them kids would be dead if it wasn't
Oh.
for me because on a lot because of, for that
You
situation as
too.
far as getting them to the doctor
You
and
too.
stuff. You know, but she's great at that. I don't do the dentist, and she sets all their appointments and gets the shots and all the other things that are required. But
Mm.
that's just what she's good at.
I mean, and yeah,
If
and you got to use each other's
I
strength.
really sat down to do it,
Mm, mm.
you know. Before we went to this, I was going to say that two people coming together, they should already, you I don't say be established, but come to coming together like, hey, how can we make our lives better? Like remove finances, remove intimacy. How are we a team? You know what I'm saying? Do we make each other better? Encourage each other. Some couples be competing and this is and that, and in a way where they ain't supporting each other, or one
Mm.
person over here doing this, the other person has no clue what the other person's doing in the house. It's just like I said, removing finance and say, hey, because I'm gonna come in here and just live off your money, and if the money looks funny, then I'm gonna be out, or I'm gonna give you hell all day long until it gets right again.
Mm.
That's I don't know. I don't say that on
Yeah,
grounds
that's
for
why I say that
divorce,
that
but
that
just
groundwork,
you know,
and this is from a counselor that me and Trey went to. The groundwork has to be done for the foundation to
Who
have
is that?
something to stand on. It what?
Go ahead.
Oh, um, yeah, the groundwork. It just has to be done. So, what establishing, like you said, establishing strengths and weaknesses, pros and cons. Okay. You know, those things, they're part of the groundwork. Those things are part of the groundwork. If you can't do the groundwork, why are you flying somebody out that you have not established those things with? I mean, that's just, I mean, you wasting money and time that you can be pouring into somebody that's actually for you, that you're supposed
Right.
to. But then again, you know, they got those people that really, they're just looking for a good time. You know. And if you not, then you need to be paying attention to your surroundings.
They're never gonna do it. Let's get back to it.
Okay, go link.
Intelligence. You can lower your voice and speak to me. I'm sitting right here. I can hear you. So all this, oh, I cook and I clean, and like, yeah, that's part of your function. But when your tire is flat, my function is to make sure you have a new tire.
But
when
that's
your
what
car
I'm
need an oil change, it's my job to make sure these people ain't ripping you off. We have different duties and functions and responsibilities. And if you don't love your duty, your function, your responsibility, you're not fit to be a wife, period.
Oh, he landed his plane. I think both wheels touched. I heard
That's
skirt,
that's
skirt.
that's ridiculous to use those examples. And just like
Thank
Boombox said,
you.
that's not, those things don't happen every day. Like, it's not my wife's duty to make the kids appointments. I can call and make their appointments the same. She's just good at it. You know, she can get them there because I'm on the road. You know, those things. That's not an everyday thing.
Right.
So I did personally know somebody that is a lady, and she used to go home, and she would get home after her husband, and she would still have to cook dinner. Like, whoever gets home first should be cooking or preparing, you know, getting the house ready to settle in for the night and get the kids ready, whatever
Right.
your situation is at the house.
Right.
You shouldn't come home after that person. What were you doing all this, the hour and a half you were here before I got home? You should have things, you know, dinner ready or whatever, or plans for it. You see what I'm saying? But that's, as you said, you don't need, the flat tire doesn't happen every day.
Right.
That's ridiculous.
It is, man. So
I
flat
just
tire
feel like he
every
should
day.
have given more illustration to what the man.
I think in his mind he said to feel like this is what men are told that they do. So since I'm talking about men, let's talk about things that I know only men do, because a lot of other stuff that he could have talked about would have been like, well, I do that, I do that. These are things you know that she's not gonna go out there and say, I change her tire. Like, let's be honest. How many females go out there and change a
Yeah,
tire?
but then you
Because
do
they
that.
put air in tires. So
No, but let's be honest. Females do, they go to the tire shops.
no, not go to the tire shops. No, see, that's how we know females don't do it. Take the tire off yourself.
Right, but
Jack
what
up
I'm
the car,
saying,
take it off
I
what I'm
don't do
yourself.
that.
saying,
But I'm saying, like, I don't do that. Like, I don't see none of my neighbors except one. There's always that one guy in the neighborhood that changes his oil in his driveway. But everybody else goes to the
But
store.
what'd you say
I see
again,
what you're
Rance? The
saying
one
is the
guy.
capability.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not the 600 guys in the neighborhood that do that. You know, it's just, he's using that as the masculine end all
Yeah.
be all
Right.
point proving, like, oh, we changed tires. I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm not taking the tire off of the rim and doing it. I'm gonna take it up to the Tire Kingdom, and we got a warranty for, you know, $6, and we get a whole new Pirelli tire. You see what I'm saying? I'm like, he should have found a better
Rance, I'm
point.
trying to help him out, man. I'm trying to help him out.
no,
I
because
mean,
it's
wrong is
not
wrong. I'm
right.
not helping nobody. If you're wrong, you're wrong. You know, it's just a.
Maybe he's saying he takes away all the problems on the outside of the home.
I cut the grass. My wife, would I like her to help me? Hell yeah. But she don't, so that's one of the things. But I don't cut grass every day.
So
and then
when
that's
we
my
say
alone
males
time too.
cut more grass than females?
No, I mean, yeah, they do, but I see old 60-year-old, 80-year-old women cut. My mom still cuts her grass with a ride
Trey,
lawnmower.
and you know I have no problem.
It's just, but my thing is,
Well,
when you have a certain dynamic, like, hey, you are doing these, like, chores don't have no gender. It's about just who can get these things done more efficiently. That's how I look at it. So my wife would be out there struggling trying to cut the grass until she got, you know, leveled up to learn how to cut grass efficiently. But I do that.
Leveled up.
You know, I don't like saying the word train about humans, but
Yeah,
you know,
I know,
so
right?
she gets leveled up to cut grass, you know, to make it look good. You know, like, I'll put it this way, I can do my daughter's hair, but I'm not good at doing my daughter's hair. I can put 2 puff balls in it, and I can take it out of the style that it was in, but I can't make it look good like she can make it look good, right?
Right.
But there's some dads that actually can. I know a dad, I can call him right now. He does his daughter's hair like a beautician, and he ain't gay. You know, he just knows how to do.
That's
He knows
their
how to
thing.
braid.
Yeah.
That's and then he can do her hair. You know, save a lot of money. I wish I knew, because I would save $70 a head. You know what I'm saying?
He didn't. He just didn't. At the end of the day, he did not land that plane well at all.
He didn't land it
And
good.
then
But that's,
Did it
he
explode?
Brent said,
No, that's not gonna say wrong is wrong. I'm not gonna defend, and I don't have to put my personal household into it. It's just about, like I tell my daughter, a hammer don't give a damn who's using it. It just it wants to bang nail. That's all it's for. You know, just learn how to use it. You know, I don't teach. Nothing has a gender to it to me, as far as like chores and certain things like that, or whatever the case may be. Now, like I said, it's about who's more efficient at doing certain things.
I trust that you. I trust you that this will get done.
Yeah. Like I wouldn't never, like, I won't say never, but wait till my wife gets home so she can start cooking, unless she just wants to cook. Like that, it helps her out that dinner's ready if she came in later than I did, and kids getting ready to do homework and bath time, all this stuff. That's not.
And I don't see no wife that would complain about that unless your cooking is just horrible.
Right.
Complain about cooking.
But the thing is about what's the goal here. So the goal is we need to eat by 7, right? Or whatever, you know, whatever your house thing is. Or the kids need to be in bed by 9, or this and that needs to be done. Who is available to do what, right? And then, okay, so weekends, you know, cutting grass, whatever the case may be. My wife can't change a tire physically. I'm not going to get out there and what the fuck I'm going to do with a tire anyway outside of, I know how to plug a tire, but I'm not going to take it off. I don't have the machine to take it off the rim at the house. So I'm just going to take it up to the whole car up to, you know, the tire change place. That's,
Yep, I agree. Link, are you going to defend your buddy over there? I mean, you're not putting up much of a fight.
I defended him to the point to where I see what he's trying to say. You know, everybody doesn't convey the message like they should, but I'm going to convey it to you. Like there is a lot of things that, you know, that I feel still are gender based. Like I can't have you doing a lot of the stuff that deals with, we'll just say, the whole automotives, because you'll be taking it to every shop in the world talking about it need wheel alignment. And they already told you no, but it's got to be wheel alignment. And that's just because that's not usually a woman's forte. And now I don't have any stats or data to back that up. But from what I've seen in every state that I go to, I mostly see males in the mechanic field. That's mostly what I see. Now if you can hurry up and go to a shop real quick, take a picture of the people in there, I think you're not gonna find you're not gonna be able to send me a picture in under 1 minute that there's gonna be a female in there. But
again, those things, once the problem with the mechanical issue gets fixed,
right?
That's it.
It's his job to make sure to foresee the future as well.
Yeah,
see what else needs to be done. Not just in the car realm. I'm not just saying only the cars. Like, yeah, he went wrong saying a flat tire. Yada yada yada. But you know, as far as everything else, like Brand said, make sure the grass stay cut, this and that. You know, might have to go on top of the roof through the gutters the majority of the time if a man is present. Because we're talking about a relationship. We're not just talking about a female by herself. We're talking about in a relationship. And anything that deals with hard work, that man is more than likely going to be doing, unless it's gardening, because I consider that kind of hard work, because you got to know what you're really doing in order for stuff to grow. But other than that, I don't see what other hard work, you know, you would dish off to the female, you being in the house.
I don't know. I mean, like I said, I don't agree with what he stated. And as far as the duties of what the young lady was talking about.
And what duties did she say she had again? I just want
to be
just
clear. To cook. She was just saying the everyday, you know, going to work. That's the everyday thing. Cooking, you gotta eat every day. Cleaning needs to be done every day. She was speaking on things that are like a routine of her daily thing, you know, her daily routine. He did not.
Yeah, he didn't say what he did on a
He
daily basis.
didn't
He just
say
said he
how
went to
that
work and
daily
changed the
routine would
tire.
look for a man. And so that's why I'm saying what he said was not acceptable, because it's like, well, I'm not going to do anything until something breaks and it needs to be fixed around the house.
Oh wow. Well,
You
that
get
was
what I'm saying?
horrible.
Like that's
That's
kind of
But we're
how
looking at
he.
the frequency of what you what the chores are, or what the duties are. Again, like you're saying, you don't change the oil every day,
Mm-mm.
you know, but you do have to cook and do all the other normal duties every day, making sure like, put it this way, you got to get whoever say they got to get this man or woman got to get the kids up for school every day, and the other ones are sitting in there not doing, or going to work out in the gym, or doing something that has nothing to do with getting the kids ready to school. Like, it could, it should be a team effort, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You would look at your wife and be like, "Why are you still in the bed? Every day I'm getting the kids up, and you just laying in the bed and not helping do anything. And they ain't cooking breakfast, ain't doing this, ain't doing nothing."
Yep.
You'd be like, "Yo, I need a new wife, because you don't do anything with the kids as far as getting them ready for school." I mean, that's extreme
He
saying
said, "I
that,
need
but
a new wife."
right? And then you'd be complaining over your husband, like, "Hey, you don't help me do anything around the house. You just sit
Right.
here and on your PlayStation while I'm cleaning, cooking, and doing
Not
this
the
and that."
Exactly. Yep. That PlayStation.
Not the PlayStation. Come on, guys. Don't do that to the PlayStation players.
I mean, but it's it's not the PlayStation isn't the problem. It's how you utilize the PlayStation that becomes the problem. Like, don't overdo it. Don't overdo it, because it's also, if he's saying his job is to fix things, it's also your job to see when things need to be fixed. And if your woman is being worn down by these duties, like, you still need to step in, because people do need recovery time from certain things. The world can be overwhelming. Daily duties can be overwhelming. That's why they give people PTO.
So yeah,
That's why they give people sick leave. So, to say that, oh, you're unfit to be a wife because you're saying, like, to me, the way she was acting on the video was kind of more so like a cry for help, because, like, she's like, just look, I'm just
A cry
exhausted.
for help.
Like, she's exhausted. Like, she may not have a good support system. Like, it may be just her and her man doing the, helping, with her daily life. And sometimes a support system can help balance things out too. But for him to just be like, well, I change your tire, I change your oil. If somebody trying to make you pay more than what you have to pay, I mean, what? So what? Because I'm still not going to do it. If somebody charged me more, and they know they charge me more, and I'm unaware of it, but I know I'm not able to do what needs to be done,
You still gonna pay it anyway.
I'm stuck.
You gotta pay it anyway.
I'm stuck anyway. So the thing,
So doesn't that mean the man comes and he changes the tire and then he saves you money? Because at that level, if you got to even think about what you're
but at the
spending
same,
on a tire, that means you don't have it, which means y'all need that.
right, but it also means, like, I still would have to wait on him to do this as well. The man. So if I have to wait on him and I need it done right then and there, because
Right.
I
So
still
either
got
you
I
gonna
still got
spend
my
money.
duties that I have to do, then the money just got to be spent.
Ooh.
Unfortunately.
No, it does not. No,
Unfortunately.
ma'am. So what's so important that you couldn't wait? And how long are we talking about the wait
Well,
for
I
this
mean,
guy
I'm
to
just
come?
saying, I don't know. Like, you
This
got to go.
imaginary man that's taking so long that you got to spend unnecessary money.
No, I'm just saying, what if he's at work and something happened and I still have my duties that I have to do, right? Now I have to wait on you. And then what? Are you going to help me complete my duties? Because the way that he was talking was like, this is what you have to do. This is what I have to do. Keep it separate. Shut up and just move forward. So, like I'm just saying, whatever the duties are, sometimes I'm using it as an example that sometimes even the women have to step into the duty of what the man's duty is supposed to be. And sometimes that's getting a tire change. It may not be raising the tire on the jack, taking the tire off and putting a new tire on. It may not be to that depth, but she can, as long as it's a little enough air to make it to the tire shop.
I think what sums it up is as long as everybody is doing the same amount, nobody feels like, like they're like whoever's getting exhausted, somebody else ain't put.
If that's the dynamic, because he's saying, basically like, what are you crying for, right? So that dynamic was based upon a working class woman and a working class man.
Right.
So it should be no problem with all hands being on deck and getting in where you fit in.
So 50-50 or whatever percentage people want to put on it, I guess that would make sense. As long as one person isn't doing more, because, how do you gauge who works harder when they're at work and who gets more on the day? Who gets paid more? It's a lot that goes into trying to figure out
those things. Don't
the equality of the relationship.
Those I mean, like working can be exhausting by itself. It can be, depending on what field you're in, it can be mentally draining or physically draining. It just depends on what you're doing. But at the same time, like, just get in where you fit in to get things done. No fighting. Stop and say, I see you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for what you did back there. I really need you to do that and whatever. Like, just get in where you fit in, acknowledge what is going on, and show the person appreciation, the man or the woman, and make sure that when y'all go to bed, you're good. When you wake up, start it all over again on a good foot. That's it.
Okay. That's what Boone says. And whatever Boone says goes on the show, guys. You already know. Whatever she says goes.
Say what?
I don't know. I don't know who said that. So it looks like we lost Rance. Rance went out the building a little bit. But I want to really thank everybody for tuning in today. We want to do a really, really quick show. And we really, really want to have fun with it. But the main thing I want to go over was this.
You say that because you have time to think right now.
I had to bring it back.
We don't have time to think when shit pop off. So again, you could.
Lies. They control the whole environment. If you move wrong, what she did her best not to do was move wrong. Sonya Massey did not move until instructed. She followed all instructions, no matter what her mental illness was. She obeyed, she complied, and she didn't resist in any form or fashion. The only reason, this wasn't a split second decision because he made the decisions to put her in the positions for this to even happen in the very beginning. It's very clear. There's no way to blow this out of context. There's no way to over exaggerate or read too far in between the lines. This is a clear cut and dry case. So, when she says split decisions are completely different and you pick up the badge, this is what I really want to talk about in the beginning and really dig deep into it. What is her motive? What is going through her mind? And what does this say about every police officer in the United States of America? Now we know you can't handle split decisions. So if you have to make a split decision on whether to give me a ticket or take me to jail, I might get deleted because that's too much. You're having a brain overload. And at this point, you're malfunctioning and either A, going to self-destruct or, blow a gasket on me because you had a bad day. We don't know what's going on in the head of an officer when they are approaching you. You almost get the same anxiety like when you walk out of Walmart and you don't know whether or not you need to give them the receipt. That's how it is when you're around law enforcement. Unfortunately, nowadays, you feel like you need to always be on the good side, and even when you're on the good side, it may not be good enough for that officer at that present time and moment. You can't go through anything. You definitely better not call for help. If you call for help, it's a 50-50 chance that they may help themselves to you, and not in a good way. So I mean, so now that deters, the people that are supposed to be protected and served from even dialing that number. As a matter of fact, that number is not a number in my phone book. I actually told Siri to remove it because there's just no way possible in life that I'm gonna call somebody that already thinks I'm suspicious, guilty, and not innocent, and tool-proof and guilty. That's the way it's supposed to go. But nowadays in this country, it seems like you're guilty before you get a chance to be innocent. And so, with that being said, yes, Miss Lisa Dyer. I mean, but that's basically your name, last name, mirrored backwards. That was so clever, so creative. But it really just shows me the creativity that police officers actually have nowadays. When you have a taser, you have a baton, you have all types of stuff. You have shoes. Somebody threw a shoe at George Bush, and I mean, you could have knocked him out the wrong way. You saw he ducked that. You probably could have jumped back if Bush can dodge a shoe. If the baby can dodge a shoe, you can jump back and dodge water. And guess what? Guess what? Put on the badge or not. Guess what? You don't need a badge to dodge. I don't think you get any special XP points or any special abilities as soon as you get a badge. It doesn't make you any superhuman. It doesn't make you anything different than what you already are. It just shows me that you think a badge actually powers you up because you said, hey, you put on the badge, you can do the same thing I can do. There are normal people every single day doing what police officers do. Normal people in the community doing the same thing without having to shoot for no reason. Like for absolutely no reason.
Dyer. That's funny.
So yeah, I mean, when she says that,
Never. You would never.
you would never. She did just stand up like I'm it. I can't make split decisions, but I'm it. You would never. You would never. You should never. They should have never allowed you on the force.
Put the badge on and let me see you do it.
Take the badge off and let me see you do it. Take the badge off and put on a criminal mask, because that's what you're doing. You're stealing lives from people. That's what y'all are doing. Every officer, no matter what creed, nationality, race, that thinks like that automatically should be removed. I don't care what nobody has to say. I don't care what the culture says, because if the culture backs you up, then there's something wrong with the culture as well. So wrapping this up, I want to thank everybody for coming in today, checking out the show, and let me know which part of the show you like the most. Which one should have been the show that I led with, the portion, the video that I should have led with. You guys are glad it's done, huh? Okay, Nelson. Stay with the Simpsons. We ain't asked you to come all the way over here. But once again, Golden, you got any final thoughts?
He froze.
You froze?
Where did he say he was going through?
I don't know. He's going
through
the gorge.
Oh,
there you go. There you go. He came right in clutch at the same time. That's what's up. While he's getting perfect reception, Boom, what's your final thoughts on this?
We touched on a couple things, but like I said, the officer situation definitely they need some mental health. A lot of these officers need mental health. You got to have some sort of compassion to be out here in the community and interacting with individuals that you don't know and you know nothing about, you got to have some sort of compassion and empathy to get to an understanding with individuals. And the fact that you could be okay with Sean Grayson disregarding the level of empathy that Sonya Massey came to the door requesting for them to have with her. And to still say that what happened to her is okay or that you don't care. Like, you weird. You really weird. You off. You need help.
You shouldn't have to tiptoe around police officers. You shouldn't have to make cartoon noises to really, be safe in your own home. You shouldn't have to be identified in your own home. You shouldn't feel pressure to do certain things. Just like she actually felt pressure to come back outside and talk to him. She already put one foot up to go in the house and get away. But I think she felt as if she made a sudden movement that things would have ended all too soon, sooner than what even happened then. And looking at the time, I mean, they weren't even there on the call that long, even after, the deletion. So it's just it's been a big problem. The power dynamic. I think you told me the other day, a police pulled somebody over because they didn't roll their window all the way down. They smashed the window, and he was like, "Yeah, I did that." Like, no, man. Like,
Oh
listen,
yeah. Yeah.
anything that you
That was in
do,
Illinois as well.
see, anything that you do, like if they go in your car and they tear it up because they're looking for illegal substances or something that they feel that they think you have, and they don't put your car back the way it is, there needs to be some type of act passed. I'm gonna be honest with you. Just feel like you destroyed somebody's stuff. And then, okay, if you found something, maybe. But if you found absolutely nothing, like, come on, man, you gotta pay for that because you made a mistake. And when people, the biggest thing nowadays is accountability. Nobody's taking accountability, not kids, not adults, not police officers, not presidential candidates, no, nobody, not mechanics, not fast food restaurants, not restaurants altogether. Just people as a whole are not really um, taking accountability. And I think more people taking accountability for their situation and for the scenario that they're in, that would shed a lot of light. If people had a little bit more humanity and decency, they wouldn't really try to erase people. They would more likely try to help people the best way they can. If they can't help them, you got to kind of walk away from it. But you try your best to help people, and I think that's what police are here for. They're here to help people, you know, because they really don't do any protecting, and they hardly do serving. Anytime that as a community, we do see them, it's more like fear than like, oh, what's up? This is my neighbor, my friendly neighborhood, officer, because of what we've seen, and for the most part, I really don't. I mean, I know there's necessity to some part where people might want to just start robbing banks suddenly because they know there aren't any, and people in the community aren't going to stand up for the bank. So okay, you got your you got your reason, I guess, for that. But other than that, like the normal citizen, I think more like businesses need police officers. You know, more like the normal citizens. I don't think so. But you guys could tell me your views on that.
It's ironic that in the police officer situation, and in real life, most white people don't like police officers either. It's that back to blue thing really is just a reference to check them niggas over there, keep them in check. Because I'm not taking it to the movies, but how many movies where white people love the police officers just the same? No, only cops I like are Martin Lawrence, Will Smith, and Axel Foley, right? That's about it. In most instances, people are not like, oh my God, cops, I love them. It's just that back to blue is not what we think it is.
Oh my
It's why
God,
it's on this
cops! I
specific
love
car.
them.
Right.
You know,
Yeah, I mean, even the seatbelt rule. I hate to bring this up, but even the seatbelt rule, where they used to pull you over because you either A, forgot to put on your seatbelt, you were just one of those people that didn't like put on your seatbelt. When you think about like how you're gonna get a ticket, now you got to go to court. It's like, okay, I didn't put my seatbelt on. I decided I wanted to swan dive through my windshield. You know, yeah, like I don't think. And then they say, well, it affects other people's insurance when you fly through your windshield. No, I think it's just affect my ability to have insurance because I didn't follow a certain rule. I don't feel like everybody should pay for it, but I think that's what they use to increase rates because there's no other reason why somebody with a clear background, a clear driving record should have their rates increase when they don't use it and when they're not going to use it and when their car's already paid off. And it's just, so many, things that go into how people set rules to say that they're protecting the public when really, it's just another, what is it, a racket to where they're able to make money off of unsuspecting individuals that really don't need the service. And if they do need it, they use it a lot, and those are the people that you should raise rates on. But I mean, that's just my thought. That's just my thought.
I have a couple of friends that are police officers. I mean,
right.
Situations happen.
I mean, and it's not to say that they're all this way, but I do believe that all need a mental check. You got to make sure that they're still
Some
able
people
to
pass
handle.
mental checks though, so I don't even know if that's gonna help. Some people are able to game the system because they've been mental for so long. Like
Yeah, well,
what do you call a functioning whatever.
I think that they're able to pass it because things are being disregarded, and I think that things are not
There's a
being
shortage
the
of
proper
police.
right. The proper questions are not being asked, and so yeah, they're passing the mental checks, but I will say, the article that I read, Sean didn't pass.
Yeah, I heard the recording. I don't know what the source of that recording was, but I heard the recording that he was reprimanding Sean about something he did previously, before the shooting. So, I mean, just
Yeah.
the fact that you have to tell somebody you don't listen and all this other stuff, and then walk around with a gun like that is like,
Yeah, but not that. Not that. When he hired him,
mm-hmm,
they still once they get hired, they have to go through training.
mm-hmm,
And in that training, he had to go through and extend it. They had to extend the training
because he didn't
because
complete it.
but no, they said that he was not ready. They said he was not ready.
Wow, incredible.
Now, mind you, this is the 6th location. If they saying that the man not ready, he wasn't.
He
He's
was
wasn't
never
fit.
ready. Like, I mean, how much more do you think he's improved by the sixth agency?
Wasn't fit.
He's like LeBron. He's switching all over the
Mm-mm.
police force. And then the thing is how long was he with that agency before he committed this?
A year.
That's long enough to make friends.
May
So that
2023.
makes me that still leads me to wonder the second deputy. I'm not gonna let this go. Like they need to drop his name. The reason why they're not dropping his name and
Because
not trying to charge him is crazy. No, it's crazy.
well,
Like
I
he should
think it
still be charged
goes
because he
back
didn't
to
even grab
real.
his arm and was like, calm down. There's no need for this. Like, where was your moral turpitude at that point?
I think it goes back to real when he said the
He should
officer
be
probably
gone too.
already got something that he violated, so they're trying to keep his name out of it because that
That's gonna
could
tie everything together. That's gonna put the ribbon on it. That's gonna really
exactly,
tell the full story. Why
exactly,
is he allowed to not to be a nameless sheriff or deputy or whatever he was?
right.
Why was that man allowed to be nameless? These are the questions that the community and people have to really ask. Why
Yep.
is this being allowed? Oh, because is he a minor? That I usually see that happen. He
A
obviously is
minor,
a
you
minor.
can't be. You got to be at least 18, especially to be out in the field, unless you was doing volunteer work. And
Well,
what were you
now
doing
we know he
volunteer work
wasn't
at that time
18.
of the night?
We know he wasn't 18. Well, we
Yeah,
don't
but even
know.
at 18, like you're considered an adult. So
Right, right. We don't know if he has less years on the force, how many years, why they partnered them. But one
I
thing
think
is I
I
do
think they're
know is that
protecting him because he either family of somebody
hmm
or he already has an open investigation going on with some stuff that he did that was unacceptable. But
to
that's
me,
just my thought.
It could be.
It's true.
It could be.
But I gotta get rid of it.
All right. Well, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up this show up. Rants. Any thoughts on that? Nope. All right. Well, thanks again, guys. Thank you so much. I think the crowd, really, really love to hear what you guys thought about that. All right, guys, calm down. And next time we're gonna put up a few more videos to really, really get into context about what we're talking about, and try to have a few more people on the panel with some different perspectives. Until next time, appreciate you guys coming in, liking and commenting and subscribing and sharing and doing all this great stuff for more content. Letting your friends, neighbors, uncles, kids, teachers, everybody, fellow truck drivers, Facebook friends, Instagram friends, YouTube people. Anyway, that's the end for Intellect Ignited. We'll see you next time. Hopefully, we'll have something for you coming up really soon. If you hit that subscribe bell, come to YouTube if you're on Facebook, and hit that subscribe bell so that way you'll get notified every time we drop something. Until then,
I'll be back.